Hi guys, this is Billy from London History Taxi Tours. Thank you for checking out Talking History with Billy. This is just some spitballing, just kind of freestyle bit of history, just talking about mainly London, but a lot about British history, and just might be something that I'll do on a semi-regular basis. So here we go, let's try it out. So today we're talking about the differences between the two cities, the City of London and Greater London. Hope you guys enjoy the show. What's the difference between the City of London and Greater London? Well, first of all, of course, there are two cities, but largely all in the same area. It all goes back to 50 AD, after the Romans had spent 7 years crossing the River Thamesis building the London Bridge. And they established in 50 AD Londinium, which 50 years later would become the capital of Britannia, and later Britannia Superior in the south. Well, anyway, going back all that time, up until now, there's been a lot of changes. However, it's been the heart of this greater area that what we called Londinium, later Lundenvik, some people called it Lundenburg, supposedly. Now we call London. This area, the square mile, the City of London, is now largely the financial district, where we have the Royal Exchange, the London Stock Market, St Paul's Cathedral, and of course on the peripheries, the Roman and medieval wall with the Tower of London for its defences. Now, what about all the rest of it? Because bear in mind, the City of London today only has a population of about 8,000 to 9,000 people. But London's a well-populated city. Well, that's the other city, Greater London. Now, Greater London has 32 boroughs, with a population of, last I checked, 8.9 million people. Now, that over the 32 boroughs is run by the Greater London Authority, the GLA, and its mayor being Sadiq Khan. Whereas the City of London is run by the Corporation of the City of London and has the mayor, the Lord Mayor. Now, the Lord Mayor is actually a figure that goes back to 1189. Now it's much more of a ceremonial and honorary title. The City of London is run much more like a business because, as mentioned before, the stock exchange, but of course banking, insurance and much more financial corporations go through there. Trillions of pounds actually go through the city. And in the past, the City of London, the square mile, was referred to as the purse of the empire. And of course, the British Empire was the largest empire that the world has ever seen. So, bearing in mind what we see as now the difference. How is it come to pass, though, that we have two different cities? Well, the City of London of the past was given its own rights, and this was secured when William the Conqueror came and he asserted his rule over London, and he accepted, or at least he allowed, the people to have their own rights on the condition that they accepted as king. So technically, William the Conqueror isn't known as William the Conqueror inside the City of London, because he didn't conquer the City of London. Technically, you should refer to him, or refer by him, as William Duke of Normandy, his formal title. Now, also, the independence, or at least the individual rights of the City of London were also, how can I put it, codified in 1215 with the world's most famous law document, Magna Carta, signed by King John. Now, don't get wrong, King John didn't necessarily adhere to much of what he signed, but it still secured the future for the City of London. Now, we're going to jump ahead, because at this point, much of the history of London is still within the square mile, but you did have, to the west, the City of Westminster, which was largely for the monarchy and the higher aristocracy. Now, jumping ahead further, more so to the later imperial ages, and of course the Industrial Revolution. Lots of people started living in settlements just outside of London. Now, bear in mind, today, driving from the City of London to these places such as Deptford, Stepney, Hampstead and so on, now it's a seamless experience. There's no gaps in between apart from parks. But back then, back about 250 years ago, many of these places, it was leaving one city, driving through busy but yet country lanes or whatnot, and then you'd enter another settlement. But as the population of the area surrounding London has burgeoned so much, notably between 1801 which was when the first census was taken of London, which was approximately 1 million people, and 1901, when the population rose to about 6 million people. And a lot of this coincided with imperial expansion and industrial revolution, even though much industry was more so along the Scottish Southlands belt, from Paisley to Glasgow and so on, and of course the North and the Midlands of England. But nonetheless, there was a great merchant presence in London, and that coincided with the imperial expansion. So we now see that coming into the 20th century, that where you had these roads linking one city to another, it's now a seamless experience. You don't leave one. And also, just to point out, if you talk to people of, let's say, 50 years old plus, so maybe about 50 years ago, give or take, people who lived around London would refer to a county called Middlesex, which is what London's always been in. But London now has swelled up. It has grown that much that essentially it's absorbed Middlesex. Middlesex is now London. So people don't refer to Middlesex anymore because it's ancient. It's gone. London's got that big. But of course, bear in mind when we say London's got that big, the City of London has always been a mile square. Now, it was demarcated square mile with the London and Roman wall that was built around it from around the 1st century up until latest, late 18th century, when it was knocked down. But all its periphery just constantly swelled up, swelled up, swelled up. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea as to why there are two cities, the City of London and Greater London. Hi guys, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. It was, of course, as I said, the first time that I've done a podcast-like show. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give a like, give a share, spread the word. And if you have any feedback, please let me know. If it's harsh, send it in a message. But otherwise, I'm going to do another one of these over the next week. So, yeah, watch this space. See you guys soon. Take care. Have a nice day. Tours of London, we're cruising so fine. From Romans to Victorians, it's a journey.